Welcome, Wolfpack Nation, to the 2024-2025 athletic season. It starts today. And if you notice, someone is not paying attention to me. Our fearless leader, OG, Mr. Leighton Smith, is here tonight, but he's letting loose the reins a little bit, and he's letting me take over. So,
Plot twist.
Yeah, plot twist. Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, listen, Greg, I figured that if we're paying you this much money, that's about time you start pulling some weight around here, okay?
Sir, if I'm leading it, I'm going to need you to, all right?
Whoa. Whoa. It's about to get real up in here.
I didn't know we could talk to Leighton like that.
Wow.
And he's muted. No, Leighton, thank you so much for letting me try this.
He has too much power, Leighton.
I had to adjust the size of my hat because I knew my head was going to be too big doing this tonight. So anyway, hey, welcome to a new athletic season. We have officially put a bow on the 23-24 season. How we feeling? How we feeling, guys? Hey, by the way, welcome, Kins. Welcome back.
Hello, everybody. I've missed you guys.
Hello. Yeah, no. It's awesome to see so many comments already. Love it, y'all. Keep them coming.
Yeah, Greg. Red Hat memo. You missed it, man. What the heck?
Yeah, and you're the leader.
I know. Hey,
this is what happens when you put he is wearing and gray shirt, right? He's like he thought it was the other way around. So
that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah. Leighton, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing phenomenal, man. I mean, I'm telling you, it's honestly, dude, it is honestly the craziest day now that SMU, Cal, and Stanford are officially a part of the ACC, man. I said SEC.
The world is just the Atlantic Ocean now. It's either side of the United States is the Atlantic Ocean.
I nicknamed it the All Coast Conference, right?
So All Coast. Well, no, you didn't nickname that. That's.
No, I did it. I got it. I got it. Go check the tape.
He's the one moderating this show. He did it.
In your lane.
Yes. So I literally just found out that I'm going to be running this thing about 5 minutes before we started the show. So I didn't really have a plan to attack this. So we have a bunch of tweets of the week, and I think we'll just go there because we have I think I have 16, 17 slides worth of tweets of the week. Some of them were doubled up. So you would think for the off season, we wouldn't have much to talk about, but there's always something to talk about. It's a year round thing. So Leighton, without ado, cue it up, my friend.
Boom.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that. I did it. So as Mr. Leighton has already alluded to, it's official. Welcome our new members, Cal, Stanford, and SMU. And did anyone notice that I felt like the ACC mandated every school had to send out the same tweet welcoming them to the league.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, and every single one of them had to do something clever, like some clever skit or something like that, which is cool. I mean, to be honest with you, I loved how the ACC crew with Eric McClain and all them, how they did they were doing a live stream from Dallas from SMU. I thought, hey, listen, whether you like it or not, it is what it is. The time is now. Today's the day, and so let's celebrate it.
Did anyone find it odd that it's from Dallas? Like they weren't taking everyone all the way across to the California schools. They were like, you know what, we're doing this in the middle of the country.
It's fine. I mean, it's whatever. I just think I just can't wait till we have ACC legend Marshawn Lynch on the show next week. And maybe the week after that we can get ACC legend Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Can we now say that the greatest play ever in the history of ACC is the Cal Stanford band? That's the greatest play in ACC history.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I was trying to even look up who is the greatest SMU alums. Do you guys know any
Dickerson? It has to be Eric Dickerson.
Okay, so I'm gonna list you some notable ones that people would know. I just looked I just Google searched famous or greatest SMU alums. I clicked on the first link. Number one, Kourtney Kardashian.
Interesting.
Let's see.
You know what? If that's one of your most famous, it's already null and void. Your list is already null and void.
It's literally number one on the list. That's what I'm like. What? That's number one.
He's pretty famous, Greg.
Jane Mansfield, old actor,
Actress,
let's see,
actress,
yeah. Laura Bush. She said one of the Bushes. Laura Bush is from there. Let's see. We have. Oh, I saw what. There was one here. Brian Baumgartner, Kevin from The Office.
Kevin, yes,
Kevin.
He
I
is.
didn't. Oh, I
on
like
there.
SMU now. I love Kevin.
Let's see if anybody else is
My
notable on
favorite
here.
character from The Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a
athletes,
lot
though,
that I
athletes.
think everybody. There's a Senator Rick Scott. He's from there. He went to school there, but there's not like
it's pretty good.
notable Jim
Bryson.
Irsay.
Yeah,
that's probably
Northwest
one.
Spring is a Bryson DeChambeau, the PGA
pretty
golfer. So
Yeah, there's a
pretty
lot
good.
of politicians and actors. It looks like from this school. So I'm
Correct.
kind of
I mean,
interesting. But
Yeah, Cal and
Yeah,
Stanford is a who's who. I mean, there's some
he
pretty
called-
smart folks that went to those schools.
He called
yeah.
SMU out during or when he won in Pinehurst the other week
mm,
Oh, really? Interesting.
and said
and
that
look here.
weird having to come all the way here back to the state to watch him play, but he's ready for it. So
Yeah, they've got
Yeah.
like some. I thought Eric Dickerson played at SMU.
Mhm.
he's the reason they almost
and-
got the death penalty back in the 80s. That was part of
yeah.
the Pony Express. That was a 30 for 30. It was a really good 30 for 30 if you haven't seen it.
The Doak Walker Award. Doak Walker played at
Yep.
SMU apparently. So it's a little bit of things, but I was like, it's just wild that I'm saying like Stanford and Cal. Cal is an ACC. It's in the name. It's Cal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Almost. So
It's
it's,
happening.
it's gonna be fun though. I think more interesting matchups. I like new things, so that's cool.
I
Absolutely.
just feel bad for the teams that have to travel all the way over there, and then once they get back, they don't get to skip class. Like if you have a night game, that's a 4.5, 5-hour flight.
It's over
coming
5,
back
yeah.
here and then going straight to class.
Mhm.
Hoping Chancellor Woodson is a little lenient towards them in that aspect because I give him a lot of credit for that to
Well,
be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, so if you're playing, even if you're playing a 6:30 or 7 o'clock game on the West Coast, that's 10 o'clock. That's 2 to 3 hours for the game, right?
Mhm.
So you're talking, if you're basing it off of East Coast time, that would be like, see, if you go 7 their time, that's 10 o'clock. If you go 3 hours, that's what, 1 o'clock in the morning. Then you go, an hour to get to the airport. That's 2 o'clock in the morning. You're not getting home till like 8 o'clock in the morning.
It feels like they're gonna have to do the games where we go to the East Coast. Those West Coast games are going to have to be like a noon or 3 game or something like that, because maybe a little bit later. But I just can't see them thinking, "Hey, let's do a night game at Stanford," and everyone on the East Coast is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay up till start watching a game at 11." So I feel like they're gonna have to do earlier games over there.
I talked to Libby Whitaker, who plays for the softball team, and she said that the football, basketball, and those kind of teams that they're not going to do night games. But she said they haven't really said anything about the revenue sports like tennis.
Yeah.
So there's no telling when they'll get back. So she's like, it's crazy to think that we could be pulling up to Raleigh Durham at 8 and have to be in class at 8:50. So
I can't imagine that being a thing.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember too, the non-revenue, they're going to fly charter, so they're going to have to work around those, those, regular airline schedules.
Mhm.
Anyway, Mr. Tracy, welcome. How are we doing tonight, sir?
What's up?
You didn't catch the memo. Greg has taken over.
I have taken over.
It's a dictatorship now. So
it really is.
authoritarianism is the thing. So
It was a coup. There was a coup overnight. There was a coup down in South America, but we've brought it back to the East Coast.
That's right.
I think it was
There you go.
Bolivia. It was one of those third world
Anyway.
type. Yeah. Well, hey, it's important to stay up with current events, folks.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Tracy, we are talking about welcoming the new members of the ACC. Give me any thoughts that you have
Yeah.
initially from that.
The All Coast Conference.
Yeah, right. I like SMU as an addition. I think they're the best addition. And one thing surprising is that they don't have a baseball team. I don't know if you guys mentioned that because being right in Dallas in
I didn't know
Texas,
You would think that
you would
be a
think
thing.
they would be. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
they add
maybe.
one now.
Maybe.
yeah, maybe
Well, Chuck Coates mentioned Stanford has a wrestling team, so we'll have them on the schedule. So either they're coming here for wrestling or we're going there.
We're gonna see Hiley again.
Well, I was gonna say, and remember, Hayden Hidley is the assistant coach now. So
I'm so happy, but he's gonna be pulling for the other team, and that's really gonna hurt me.
But here's
I bet
the
he
one
wears
thing.
like red underwear or something like that, just to like keep it like close, like
secretly rooting for State, like wanting them to.
Greg, why are you shaking your head like that, man? Why?
Weird. I was getting chastised
for Red Sox. Red Sox. How about that?
All right. I was getting chastised for coups, and you're talking about people's drawers.
Here's a real conversation though about this whole thing. Honestly, is I'm sure it's already been discussed, but there's no doubt that ACC championships in terms of tournaments, whatever may be, like they just cannot be hosted at Stanford or Cal or even SMU, in my opinion.
It has to stay.
It makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know if that's part of the agreement, but that's got to be almost common knowledge, because I mean, it just won't. It'll be basically, Greg, like when Louisville hosted the ACC baseball tournament, where basically nobody showed up to any of the games unless it was Louisville, and it was packed. So it's basically a home Louisville regional, and that's basically what would happen if it's Cal, SMU, or Stanford hosting.
Yeah, I'm not going back to California for a state game. I have PTSD from that. I'm not doing that again.
I'm going to go at some point. I'm going to go to one of those games at some point. But I think what's interesting is SMU is supposed to be like a decent football team this year, if I'm not mistaken.
They will be.
They were last year.
Yeah, I saw some people saying they could be like an 8, 9, 10 win team this year. And I'm like, that's interesting, because they're going to come immediately.
They were picked to win the ACC over us.
Yeah, it's just really odd.
It's all that oil money. They're doing a lot with NIL and bringing in recruits, and so you think about it, they were starting to prepare for this in advance. But all right, we need to keep this show moving before I get yelled at and get the reins taken away from me by Leighton. We're gonna go to the next tweet. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leighton.
Well, and real quick too, I want to give a shout to Hunter, who said he's been going through some trouble, man. Praying for you, Hunter. Hoping the best for you, man.
Absolutely.
North Wolf, we'll get to Diana. Don't you worry. What's going on, Derek? Appreciate you tuning in, man. And can you interview Marshawn Lynch from a golf cart? I wish. That'd be phenomenal.
That would be amazing.
I honestly didn't know if he meant Tiger Woods or Marshawn.
Could have done that.
Marshawn Lynch actually makes sense.
Both ACC legends.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, we said.
Yep.
All right, going to the next tweet of the week. 16 ACC championships, the most out of the last 4 years. This just kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week, with just how outstanding of a year that State had. But over the last 4, and we mentioned all of the sports that have been so good, I guess, for lack of a better word to say, and it just being dominant in the ACC as a whole. It's the obviously the basketball this year. It's wrestling, it's swimming, it's women's gymnastics, it's women's basketball,
cross country.
I'm probably missing one somewhere.
Baseball.
No, baseball hasn't won one, unfortunately.
I know, I'm throwing it out there for maybe
thanks for ruining the streak we had going there, Kins.
I'm not ruining it.
But
throwing it out there. I'm speaking it into existence. Football.
I feel you. Yeah, we hopefully get one in football. But just I know the stat was there like a year or two ago that since the ACC network had been established, State was leading the conference and ACC championships. I would assume that's probably still the case, or if not, we're probably number 2.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think it just goes back to this comment just to me. It's like, I think people need to give Boo Corrigan some credit here, and a little bit Debbie Yao too. Everybody's been giving Debbie Yao, singing her praises for all she's done for the programs, particularly the non-revenue sports. But now that Kevin Keatts has gone to a Final Four and Dave Doeren is what he is, she's done a lot of stuff for the big schools, for the big programs too, the revenue. So just I think people need to give Boo Corrigan his props here. Different athletic director than Debbie Yao, but we just start talking right now. Maybe it's the greatest single season of NCAA athletics ever, and period of NCAA athletics in general. So go ahead, Leighton. You were saying something.
Yeah.
Well, and because I'm looking at the breakdown right now, and so in there's only been 2 times where NC State in a single year was not at least tied for first with the most ACC championships, and that was back in 20. I missed it. where did I see it? In 2019, 2020, 2021, Duke had 6 that year. We had 3. And then this year, UNC had 6. We had 5. But
Okay.
I mean, but right now, State is at 24 total ACC championships over the last 6 years, and UNC's at 19 at second.
That's
So
what
we
I'm
have
talking
5
about.
more ACC championships than the second most over the last 6 years.
And that's about when the ACC network was established, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I think that is still a true
And
statement. But
I think two of those ACC championships this year for UNC were sports we don't compete in.
yeah, I think fencing.
Field hockey and
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was fencing.
And field hockey, I'm sure.
Yeah, they win in
Yes.
field hockey every year.
Yeah, that's a
hockey.
given.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
to go ahead and put their name on the trophy every year.
Yeah.
100%.
Pretty dynamic program. But yeah, so again, just State getting it done in the conference, and hopefully even with the new additions, that will continue to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so shifting over, we're going to talk a little bit of basketball. The three-headed monster here.
Makes me
DJ
so happy.
Burns, DJ Horne, and Mohamed Diarra have all signed summer league contracts. Mr. Burns with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Mr. Horne with the San Antonio Spurs, and Mo with the LA Lakers. And he will be hopefully outdoing Bronny James. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, Kens, give me your thoughts on these 3 signing their summer league contracts.
I'm so excited for them. Like, you can't help but like have happy tears when you see those tweets, because listening to their interviews, like I think it was with the Hornets that I was watching for DJ Burns, and he said the quote that he said, he was like, a few months ago, we were all in the locker room talking about what country we're going to play in. And he's like, now we're actually going to be able to play in the US. Like, people know our names now. And it was huge to just see him and all of them just talk about how much that run changed their athletic lives. And so to see them be able to, I mean, yes, you didn't get drafted, but tons of players don't get drafted and absolutely ball out in the NBA. So I'm excited for them to get started. I'm excited to watch them, and I'm hoping that they can pull a spot on that roster.
Macon, I know you're a big basketball guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much you are on the NBA level, but if you had to give me one of those 3 potentially making a roster or making a run at a roster spot, which one do you see has the best advantage?
That's an early point. I would have actually said DJ Horne, but now that the Spurs have signed Chris Paul, that makes me not so sure about that. I've heard that the Lakers need rebounding, so maybe Mo's got a spot. I don't know. So maybe to me it's a DJ. He's lost the way. I don't know. His ability to score and pass is uncommon, and I think that could help out with him. That could help him out.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw on a podcast Zach Randolph is on he was on that seems to be
Paul
the most
George.
common. Yeah, thank you. He said, now that he's lost this weight, that there can be a place for DJ Burns in this league, and I firmly believe that. Did anyone see? I know
ironically that he said the Spurs was where he thought might be the best fit for him, spelling Wembanyama. So
yeah, I know our guy making Chris Selman's a big Cleveland Cavaliers fan. Did you see that? The Photoshop one that they did putting
the LeBron James, but it was DJ Burns. That was hilarious.
That was so good.
Yeah,
so
I
good.
mean, I think he is going to be immediately a fan favorite there.
Oh,
I don't
he's
know
already
what
in America.
Yeah, I'm curious what Cleveland's depth.
They're in one of these weird things because they fired their coach, if I'm not mistaken, and they're kind of like a tweener playoff team. Not playoff team, so just depends on which direction they plan on going, because they were pretty good. They took who did they take to the brink? Was it Indiana?
I don't
remember who they lost to. They lost to like in 6 or 7 games.
I'm looking at they've got Isaac Okoro, who's a solid player, Marcus Morris Sr., who's an older guy but can play. So they're gonna. I mean, I could see him carving out a role there. If Marcus Morris can play there, DJ Burns can play there right now. So, I think Okoro is probably the starter. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Ty Jerome, but Yeah, it'll be. I think he could do it. I think that this. I would have said DJ Horne if they hadn't signed Chris Paul. But yeah.
Leighton, you got any thoughts here?
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, basically Macon took the words right out of my mouth that I put out a tweet when DJ got signed by Spurs, but like, oh, perfect, because I mean they're dying to get some guard help for Wembanyama, and but then they signed Chris Paul, and there's even talks of them going after Trae Young as well, which I was like, oh man, dang. So, but now they've signed Chris Paul, definitely, and because again, I mean, obviously with DJ Horne, he's more skilled with the shooting side, while Chris Paul is more with the passing side. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's like you can only have one or the other, but unfortunately in today's day and age, I mean, unless you're probably a lottery pick, you're gonna have a hard time finding a spot on the roster, which is just unfortunate. Just there's just not as much churn in the NBA like there is in the NFL. So, but yeah, I mean, I think DJ Burns, honestly, that's the guy I'd put my money on having the best shot. Just skill set. I mean, who was it? There was DeMarcus Cousins, I think it was. That was even testamenting a little bit to how his game could match really, really well in the NBA. So, but yeah, with Mo, I mean, with Anthony Davis can't stay healthy for the life of him. He'd be a great option to get rebounding. So we'll see. Cheering all three of them on, no doubt about it. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better three guys to happen to either. Like,
right.
Amen.
And just remember these three, like Ken said, were undrafted. They've been signed to summer league contracts, so they're going to go out and play out. And I think it's Vegas. Last time I checked, that's where the summer league is.
Guys,
if they do,
I'm just sorry. I'll just finish here. But I actually got a point to make here.
Yeah. So just all the point I was going to make is this is the summer league contract. There's no guarantees that they make it to training camp in the fall. So if they do well, they can get the invite, and then they can get more eyes. And then there's always the G League. That they could fall back on if it doesn't work out at the NBA level. Making, go ahead. You had a point.
Yeah, I was just thinking, guys, like, can you believe we went to the Final Four? Just like
yeah, sometimes
it just hits me every now and again. It just hits me now and again. Like, but you just made a point, like that changed their lives.
Yeah,
like and it's just like one magical run in March.
Yep.
It's like a baby changes everything. It's like, no, a Final Four changes everything, right? So it's like
y'all need to go watch that interview, because he said the game when they were playing in Louisville in the ACC tournament, they were all in the locker room talking about, okay, where do y'all think we're going to go overseas?
Yeah.
And they literally didn't lose for like 9 straight games. And it was like, what team, like what state are we going to go to play?
Yeah.
I love to hear that from them.
Michael, any closing thoughts on these three?
No, I think now that Burns has lost the weight, I mean, yeah, I think he definitely has the best shot.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for Burns is he just has to develop an outside shot of some kind, get a mid-range jumper. I think that's
did it against Carolina.
And with Mo too. I mean, Mo, he was able to hit the three occasionally for us, but yeah, if he can do it more consistently too, he's kind of your like physically his build kind of fits better in the NBA, but we'll see.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Well, staying on NC State men's basketball, this is kind of when we and I'll let you I still haven't gotten the new guy from Canada's name down, but go ahead and I'll let you.
Yeah, I've heard multiple people say it differently, so I got to figure out. But what I heard a guy announce his name on a live game was Ismail Diouf.
Yeah.
Now I've heard some other place call him Diouf, but I don't think that is.
I would think it's
French.
But
so
I don't know.
So where I was going with that signing, there were some questions on how the scholarships and how this was going to work out, and well, it took us less than 24 hours to get that answer. You had MJ Rice and Ernest Ross announced their departure. Ernest Ross for the second time in this offseason, which
yeah, Ernest has given us all kinds of a roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah. So I think technically, with that being said, we do have one scholarship open now. We'll see how that gets filled, if it does get filled. But I guess, Michael, since I ended with you on the last topic, why don't you kind of give me your thoughts first on Ernest, like Ken said, putting us on a roller coaster of emotions, and then MJ announcing his departure. And I think the interesting thing now and I don't know the timing of these, but I'm not sure they can sign with another squad without sitting out a year because they're after the window. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if someone has some clarity on that.
I mean, I wouldn't think they would have to apply for some kind of waiver, but
but
MJ Rice
getting a waiver now, right?
Yeah, the MJ Rice news is not surprising given how last year ended.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ernest leaving and coming back. It's just like, okay, well,
see,
it is what it is. But I hate to lose a guy like that because he's been on the team.
Guy.
Yeah.
The
He's going to be 12th or 13th guy on the bench. So,
but it's just sad though, in my opinion, that honestly, I think for me and for a lot of State fans, that our opinions now on Ernest Ross has kind of changed from like, oh, let's go, we got a guy that is a locker room guy, a character guy, an energy guy, to what the heck is this guy doing? Like what's
let me
going
pause
on
you.
here?
We don't know all the circumstances on it, so we don't want to jump too far off the conclusion bridge.
I know, no, and I'm not, but I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just sitting here. I just couldn't imagine this. I just couldn't imagine a scenario where this isn't at least led by Ernest Ross to a point where, I mean, I don't know. Unless Keatts overpromised, that's the only thing I can say. Okay, not good on Keatts' part to overpromise, saying you're going to get like more of the minutes than he actually was. But again, I just feel like it was written. It was written on the walls easily, clear as day, that Ernest wasn't going to come back and be a major contributor. It was never going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Now, he's probably like player number 11, 12 right now on the team, and it's just. But he has a
T-shirt made after him. He don't need to play. He's making.
Right, he's already a legend. He's a Final Four legend. Okay, so
he don't need to play.
He needs nothing else. He's set, but he's a guy who's a locker room guy. So I don't know what the deal is there, but
no.
I kind of hate it, honestly. It's not going to be on the team because it's like, man, that guy.
Yeah,
he's just a fun dude.
He's a fan favorite. Everybody likes him.
Yeah.
You don't. Nobody hates Ernest Ross.
Breon. Like, I couldn't imagine a team without him and Breon on it. Like, that just hurts to think about. But
yeah.
Okay.
Who's going to be the goofball on the team now? Is my question. Right. That's what I'm looking for.
Jordan Snell, easily.
Yeah, Snell or Keatts.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still get KJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Michael hit it with MJ. We weren't expecting a whole lot coming from him this year, given all the things that he's having to have dealt with over the last couple of years. We hope certainly that he's getting everything and all the help that he needs to get his life just in general in order to live a healthy life. I know mental health stuff is a serious topic, and we wish him the best in getting that figured out. But any other thoughts on these two? I think we pretty much hit it here.
I just wish the best to them, and just really appreciate, particularly Ernest, what he's done for the program. So
1,000%. All right. Well, in other transfer news, this one didn't make as many headlines, but Alex Nunley, a former walk-on, is taking his talents out to Texas A&M San Antonio, basically for Alex. And he was, like I said, a walk-on. He was wanting to get some playing time in his final year, his COVID year. He wanted to go out and go play somewhere where he can potentially get some minutes and compete for some time. And another kid that local kid from Cary, and got his degree from State, and we wish him 1,000% good luck in everything that he does. Just a really good solid guy, good team player, bench guy that just kind of again kept that glue together. Do we have any thoughts or comments? Again, he was a walk-on, so not a lot to talk about there, but just wanted to give him his moment in the sun because, again, as you said, Macon, can you believe it? He was on a Final Four team.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he'll always get to say he went to the Final Four.
Right.
And he'll forever he'll forever have a video that's going to be one of the funniest videos of the 2023-2024 year. Hands down, no doubt about it. Him, whatever you call jamming it out or walking it out with the team Friday practice before the Final Four. That was the funniest thing.
That was awesome. His Final Four moment. That was his one rising. What is that? What do they call it?
One shining moment.
Yeah, that was his one shining moment, I guess. No, but great family, and we wish Alex all the best in his endeavors.
Yes.
All right, one more piece of basketball news from the men's team. Pack alumni Terquavion Smith, his option was not given to him. He's now a free agent from the Philadelphia 76ers. He had a $1.875 million option that was declined. Given, I think this probably is a problem because of the whole Paul George thing. I would probably say that there's some dealings from, or some of the aftermath from that. Kind of just give me your thoughts there, Leighton. You haven't spoken in a minute.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think for me with Terquavion again, it just goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's just so tough to make an NBA roster. It's just so it's so superstar led. I mean, and with the contracts these players are getting now, Jason Tatum just signed what for $318 million or something like that, like something ridiculous. Which, I mean, is he worth it? I mean, sure. I mean, he's one of the biggest superstars in the NBA right now. He's super young, but so when you're paying guys like that much money, then it's just going to be even more tough choosing. So with Terquavion, I think he's going to be a guy that I think honestly might make more of a name for himself, like maybe following like a Lorenzo Brown route, just going overseas and becoming a superstar there, having a long career, making a good bit of money and, enjoying life. But yeah, I mean, in terms of, will he ever become a solidified starter in the NBA? I don't think, if it hasn't happened by now, I don't know if it's going to be. That's my thought. But
he's still young. I mean, I think he gets another go at it.
Sure,
but
an
uphill battle for him for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if he hasn't kicked in the door yet, what's going to change? That's going to be a big bump, for him to get in. That's my piece. But yeah, Michael.
I'm good. I hope he puts dollars wrong. Right?
I'm supposed to ask the next person.
I think he'll get another shot.
Passive aggressiveness here. My gosh.
Greg just kicks out.
There was nothing
Greg's
passive
like,
about
I have
that.
some things to say tonight, folks.
Go ahead, Michael. I think you were getting ready to chime in on something.
I think he'll get another shot. Like you said, I think it was more about making room on the roster for some of those trades that went through.
Bring him to the
I think
Hornets.
he'll get picked up again. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just to kind of Leighton's point, right? He's a fringe player in the NBA, and I think, like I said, it was either 1.85 or 1.87 million dollar option. He's a 12th, 13th, person on the roster. That's the kind of money that they're throwing around in the NBA these days, and basically $2 million to essentially be the fourth or fifth guy off the bench, right? So yeah, making any thoughts before we put this one to bed?
No, he just is if he's going to have to make it in the NBA, he's going to have to know his role, and I don't know what NBA team. I mean, like any team, they could get a flyer on a guy who comes off as like a rotational piece who can just kind of score for you. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. I think he could be a stud overseas, though.
Yes,
a stud. So
get that money. I think he can make more money, to be honest with you.
100%.
So
there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that at all.
Or even a G League guy, people would go see Terquavion shoot it like that. I think so.
Yeah,
100%.
It's just it boils down. Do you want to be an NBA guy and just have that prestige, or do you want to go make your money, right? And I think that. I mean,
I don't think Terquavion's never been that. I want to be in the middle of the spotlight. He's like, I want to go grind. I want to play. So I think he's going to do whatever he can do to get more minutes.
Agreed.
He just likes to compete. That's all it is.
Yeah. All right. We're going to switch some gears and switch sports. We're going to flip over to football. And
60 days, guys. 60 days.
That's crazy. It's
like 59 technically, because we flipped over to 7:30. So
that's true.
Yeah. I'm not counting though. But anyway, we have another commit on the board here for the this next recruiting cycle. Offensive lineman. Yep, class of 25. Offensive lineman, 3-star, Mr. Michael Gibbs, and I believe he's out from the Wilmington area. I can't remember which town. I know it's one of the smaller ones, but Hoggard, what is it?
Hoggard's the high school, but he's from Wilmington.
Okay,
So.
got it. Thank you. All right. So big offensive line target for the Pack. Coach 2J has just been lining them up.
He's been killing it in the recruit.
He's been killing it. Yeah. Michael, not Michael. I'm sorry, Macon. I'll turn it to you first. I know you're the recruiting guy for the squad, but give me your first initial thoughts on him.
Yeah, he's a guy I think who moves really well for his size, is my understanding. He's 6'4", but I read that some of the media folks say that this is a player that the state projects to be an offensive tackle, and I think specifically left tackle, left tackle, which I think goes to his ability to move like that. So his athleticism there. So it's good. He is a guy who had some good offers. I wouldn't say they all blew you away, but he had just obviously had his offer from state. The most notable other offers would be Virginia Tech and Duke, who rounded out his top 3. And then I would say the other 2 would probably be Penn State and UVA. So he's got some other ones like App State, ECU, Georgia Southern, Liberty, USF. So, but really seemed like a guy that the staff was really excited on. And honestly, if you watch his commitment video when he gets the call from 2J, that was really cool because he looked like he was really wanting that offer. And so, I really think this is a guy. If to me, I guess if staff likes him, then sign me up. So I know they can do with a guy like that. So
all faith in staff at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Coach 2J is just such a great evaluator of talent, and then develops them. Michael, any thoughts on Mr. Gibbs?
Yeah, I like it. I like the a lot of the guys we've landed in the past 2 classes are, ideal size, right, for offensive linemen. It's easier to take a guy with that size and teach him how to become a good offensive lineman, skills wise, than it is to add 3 inches to a guy.
Absolutely right. You can't really give him a lot more wingspan.
Yeah.
Leighton, any thoughts on Michael Gibbs here?
Yeah, well, I mean, with Michael and any of the commits in general, I mean, right now, like the biggest thing 2 things I want to say is that, some people might say, well, you look at the list right now and pretty much every single guy is listed as mostly from most places a 3-star right now. So it's like, well, you're not getting necessarily any home runs. And I'm saying, well, first of all, I mean, you're still technically actually really early in the recruiting cycle. I mean, it's not common to have this many commits, a month before even fall camp starts, which is a great problem to have. But also the thing which I love, I mean, is that it feels like with each of these commitments, it's been guys that I feel like that we aren't necessarily like lunging for. Like it's not like we're reaching for guys. Like we're picking guys right now that we want and that we know that we can build a class we can build off of. And so and especially too with 2J. I think that even just with 1 year of him being the head offensive line coach, you feel very, very confident that when he gets his guys, I mean, again, we had Savannah 2J around this time last year, his daughter, who said once he gets his guys in, you'll feel it, you'll know it. And I think
I'm gonna say to add to that, Lane, and just going back, he is I'm watching his film now. He it looks like he may have played in a state championship game inside.
That's
Finland.
what.
I can't remember which level it was, but
Hunter just dropped that in the chat too. Yeah,
Forrest Italic. Okay, I didn't even see that. Honestly, when I'm watching this film right now while y'all are talking about it, he bursts off the line. His ability to move at 6'4" and whatever his weight is man, especially if he could play like guard, like he can move at that weight. How heavy is he? Do we know? He says
while we find that, he gives me kind of Dylan McMahon vibes, to be honest with you. Great hands, great athleticism. So a great, I think, guard or even potentially center in the future.
Yeah, he projects as a tackle, but to Macon's point, I think he's got the athleticism where if you have to plug him in somewhere, kind of like McMahon, how we did, where he played guard and then slid over to center, I think he gives you some flexibility and versatility there. Kins, anything you want to say about Gibbs here?
I mean, like y'all have kind of wrapped it up on that. I mean, I'm excited. I'm ready to see how the offensive line plays out now that 2J's got his guys. I I'm ready to see how the entire team plays out now that all of the new coaches have their guys coming in. So
Yeah.
all my if they like them, I like them. Like Megan said, like that's all there is to it. I agree with everything they say at this point.
300 pounds, 6'4".
Yeah, he's already. I mean, you could plug him in. You know, obviously, you probably want to get him some muscle,
yeah.
but I mean, he's got the framework to already be able to slide in, if necessary.
He's only going to move faster, right? He's only going to move faster, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, once Coach Thunder gets a hold of him, it's gonna be game on. But speaking of Coach Thunder and his program, anyone see Zeke Correll in the weight room today?
I saw a video. What was it about?
He was just crushing some weights.
No, I did not see that. I saw the video, but I didn't watch it.
He did save. It was like a box squat. He did like 665, 8 reps or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen that Gus is already working out with Coach Thunder too, which is huge. I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
I've seen him in a ton of
8 reps.
Yeah. He was. So if there's any question about, you know, him coming back from not playing in the spring and, you know, I think he had a small procedure. I think he's quickly putting those thoughts to
Let's
rest.
Let's go to an ACC championship, guys. Let's go do it.
I mean, we're due for it, right? We're due for it. So
let's keep that year of last year rolling. Keep last season.
So, hey, can you? Speaking of that, I don't have it in order, but that's a good segue from Macon's comment. Can you flip over one more? No, okay.
This guy?
No, one more. This one right here. So, Macon, since you just mentioned it, our friend Big Game Boomer. What will happen when NC State wins an ACC this year? Obviously, he didn't speak about football, but we know this is a football reference. What is going to happen?
Well, first off, I really like the word choice of when, not if. So there's that.
No, but hey, 2 weeks into the season, he'll say that we ain't doing nothing.
Nah, he likes NC State. He likes State.
He does.
But
some of his tweets are not for
I
us.
think I'll be saying the same thing in like January. Can you believe we won an ACC championship? No, but it'll be. I think. To me,
can you believe we're playing? Can you believe we're playing Georgia in the college football playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, Doeren's due. I mean, it's his turn. He's up next after all these coaches.
I just really think the schedule sets up. What will happen, Greg? I will lose my mind. That's one thing. I'll buy mini shirts. Items, memorabilia, and I'm going to just really enjoy it if we win, man. It's just going to be like a thing where, man, if we could win that and just looking back on the rest of the last, you know, the calendar year of 2024, like it'd be awesome. And I think the schedule sets up. We've got plenty of time to talk about this. Sets up so well for State. The two tough matchups to me are that Tennessee, Clemson. Two games.
The Tennessee one doesn't affect the ACC. So to your point, right?
Right.
Michael, you're right. When we win the ACC, what are you gonna do?
Well,
he's gonna hop the field and break his leg.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Hopefully, I'll be in.
Bank of America's walls aren't
He's going to get famous, and he's going to be on the ACC network for a preview of a game.
I'm okay to relinquish and pass that title to Michael if he's willing to take it.
I'll be buying a bunch of merch.
Yeah.
Probably not on the field.
Name his firstborn child after KC. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Like honestly, y'all, because there's no doubt. Obviously, if we go to the ACC championship, I'm gonna be there, no doubt about it. I ain't missing it. It's in Charlotte. I mean, so it's an hour and a half down the road. I'm missing it. But I literally have always envisioned myself after the game, just just sitting down with my back against the wall, against at Bank of America, just being just soaking it in and just sitting there for an hour or two or even more, just just trying to soak it because again, y'all, and I just had to remind that obviously for me, with my background being football equipment manager at the beginning of Doeren's era, for me, it probably would even mean more just because of the fact that, again, I mean, I was there from the beginning. I mean, I saw those locker rooms when
the 0-8 ACC season.
The 0-8. I saw the emotions after we blew the games to Boston College and FSU the year in 2016 against Clemson. I've been in those locker rooms, so to see it all finally build up to that one pack, one goal slogan that Doeren came in to finally get the ACC championship, it is the biggest dubstep beat drop. Like it is like the biggest beat drop build of all time. Basically, that's going on right now.
I mean, what I think of is how Raleigh handled basketball winning it. Like I
Burn
feel
the
like
city down. Just burn the city down.
It was pretty tame from what I
Raleigh
saw and
could've
heard.
It was. It was.
It was.
I mean, it was to a certain extent. Like there were some arrests that happened at the bell tower.
As there should have been.
I feel like it was more of a after we won the ACC tournament, it was like, okay, let's go get a national championship. Like I feel like if we win the ACC in football, Raleigh might just burn it. I'm doing a backflip off the bell tower if we win the ACC in football.
I hope not the top of it.
Off the bell tower.
Off the
Wow.
tower.
I'm hoping like there's like
You
the
better
first
have
2 or
a
3 steps.
parachute below. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna be.
So guys, we're missing the key point here. You guys had great answers, but what you're missing here is the ultimate answer. When we win the ACC championship, I'm buying CFP playoff tickets. We will be in the CFP playoffs.
Layton said it. Layton said he's like, we played Georgia and whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna play Georgia. Yeah.
I don't think we play them in the first round, but
No.
we'll probably have
Probably
a
not.
Going all the
probably
way.
not
What are you
first.
talking
Texas.
about?
I guess he had Texas matchup, something like that.
Could be right. Hopefully
You
it's in Carter Finley. I think if you're a conference winner, do you automatically get a home game for that?
Tennessee. Did you play Tennessee?
So top 4 teams get a bye. I don't think the
Right.
ACC winner, unless it's Florida. Well, probably not after last year, actually.
Yeah, I
They
don't
won't
think us
be
being the top 4.
top 4. But if
I
you're
get-
5 through, if you're 5 through 8, if your seed's 5 through 8, then you get the home game.
Yeah, so
Which I
don't
think
see
that's
them-
where an ACC champion would be.
Agreed. I would agree.
I would be
I could
going
see us
to
being around
that,
5, 6.
I'd be going to that CFP game though, Greg. I'd be for
Yeah.
sure being at that game. Like that's
Yeah.
just you don't know when you'll go back, right? So
That would be historical too. I mean, that would be the first
time.
ever, obviously in Carter Finley.
Especially if it was in Carter Finley, that place will be rocking.
they
Yeah.
would play it at a home field advantage. They wouldn't play it at
No, it's a home field game. 5 through 8
Yeah,
gets a home first round
I
playoff game.
did not know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Raleigh would almost burn to the ground before the game even started.
Yeah, so the first round is at a home field, the higher seed, and then the next round goes to being bowl games, like the Orange Bowl, like whoever doesn't have the national championship game. It's one of the CFP bowl locations.
Wow.
But
Okay.
yeah. All right, moving back to a little bit more to football, current football. We have the potential here to get a very highly touted recruit. In fact, the number 1 player in the country, I believe, is what he was listed as. Am I right in that statement?
You are.
You are correct.
All right. So 5-star quarterback Faison Brandon is set to announce, and I don't even know the date now because someone took it off the screen. There we go. August 3rd. So that's a little over a month from now. And state has made the top 4. It's between us, Alabama, LSU, and Tennessee. So 1 ACC school and 3 SEC schools for his talents. That would be a major coup, since it seems to be. I like to use the word coup tonight, but it would be pretty dang amazing to see us out battle one of those 3 schools for a recruit, especially of his stature. Anyone want to take this as a comment? Oh, okay, I see a hand. Megan.
No, to me, I mean, to me, what's noteworthy about this, and usually we don't really do this like a tweet of the week for a top 4, like, because that's not really that's someone. But when it's a number 1 overall player, regardless of position in the country,
yeah,
and he makes a top 4, you're the only school in North Carolina. You're the only ACC school.
And he's
that's
from North Carolina,
because one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
And so that but I just said that it kind of, I will say, I'm kind of getting a little bit of Noah Rogers vibes in this commitment, in this recruitment, because he's a guy who has been to campus multiple times now. He has friends on the team. I don't know how tight he is. I know Terrell Anderson was his receiver last year. And I really think it's going to come down to, I think money is going to be a big thing, right? NIL stuff. So that's why I think state fans are going to have to continue to step up. But he's to me is a guy who anybody would want him, but I get that kind of vibe. So to me, I feel like, well, the word is worried, because it's the number 1 commit, number 1 player. I'm not worried if we don't get him. It's just like, how awesome would it be if he did want to commit to state?
Yeah.
So it's a guy that's super talented. If you see his film, There's a lot of clips. He's been to some camps lately. I know he went to Under Armour camp. He's throwing he's throwing some amazing balls, like just accuracies, power, placement of it, the touch. He's really good, but he's a dual threat guy. So we'll see. Does DeBoer, now he's a new hire from Washington to Alabama. Can he get based on Branson? Does Tennessee to me, Tennessee's kind of felt like the new cool school in town, right? So do they get that? That's where they had the guy from Raleigh, from I can't remember, was it Middlebrook, where it was, who went to Tennessee. No, well, he did, but he's from Greensboro area. There's a receiver. I'm blanking on his name.
Nathan Leacock.
Yeah, Nathan Leacock. Yeah, he was the guy who's a 4-star receiver. It's not that. I know Michelle pointed out it's a long drive to Knoxville, but it's not as far as Tennessee, I don't think. I mean, it's Alabama, excuse me. So or LSU.
Or LSU, yeah.
So we'll see, but I wouldn't count on him being the top 2. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. We'll see how reports come out in the next month. But the fact that he has visited and he made his commitment date is maybe a little bit of a positive. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Ken's any thoughts on Mr. Faison?
I want to get him, obviously. I mean,
Right.
I think that all the quarterbacks that we've had come through state, I mean, they've had really positive futures. So hopefully that's a plus for us. But I've also heard that he's going to be at that Tennessee State game, and that could play a role in how that game goes.
Yeah, which is interesting, right? Because he's announcing on the 3rd of August. We play them September 7th. You might see something where, if he picks one of those 2 schools, he may flip. He may flip. And I don't know him personally, but I wouldn't put it past him.
That's a big thing that he's already got his tickets and he's ready to. That's going to be.
I think NIL is going to be a big thing for him, though.
Oh yeah.
So do you read between those tea leaves, Michael, that if he's already going to going to that game, which is State and Tennessee, do you think maybe he's leaning to one of those schools?
I would think so.
Yep.
I don't know. To me, I kind of I don't think so necessarily, because I'm thinking it's a huge
I think it's like
game.
90% Tennessee, but yeah.
Right. It could be. And maybe it is Tennessee, right? It's just because Ian Avila, I think was he the number 1 quarterback in the class a year or 2 ago? He's the new quarterback.
I don't think number 1, but he was top 5.
I mean, it'll be. I don't necessarily think it, because to me, I think if anyone's a really good a college football fan, that's going to be a game you probably want to go to early on in the season. So
sure,
it's a matchup thing.
But what is
But
the name of their quarterback again?
the last name, I think, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is Ian Avila.
So, and am I correct that he's still a redshirt freshman?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that one.
I believe he's a redshirt freshman. So where I'm going with
Ian Maleva. IAMALEAVA.
So would he want to go there if he's a redshirt freshman? If you already have your guy at quarterback.
Well, we're gonna have Will Wilson.
He's class of 2026, so that's
he's 26. Okay,
next year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh wow, so he's going to be announcing really dang early.
Hey,
even if you don't get him, there's still plenty of time to work them.
You still got 2 years. I don't trust it until they're on campus.
I'm the same way. I don't get extremely excited. I'm like, cool, and we're moving on.
And I learned that from basketball, with Rob or Dillingham and all of our guys that we've lost. I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah.
If you're not in signature apartments, I don't trust it.
So Tennessee has a pronunciation key for his last name. It's Iamaleava.
Okay,
Iamaleava. And apparently he was the number 2 QB in class. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just call him Nico.
Yeah.
This isn't a Tennessee podcast, but anyway, moving on.
We don't care.
Leighton, anything that we haven't already talked about?
Well, I mean, and this really kind of goes into a tweet of the week, which I'll bring in as well with the Savage Wolves, which, I mean, I got to give a huge shout out to Wolfpack Nation, who, I mean, just absolutely is going full in right now, and we love to see it with the NIL side again, raising over $127,000, with the summer sweepstakes that Savage Wolves put together is phenomenal, to say the least. But the problem is that
Is it sustainable?
Well, no. The problem is that the money that Tennessee is going to offer Faison,
right. That's that
would be a huge chunk of our total NIL wallet. Which are you going to be that willing to invest that much money in a guy that you'll have to invest that money without him playing one single college football playoff game? Like, right. I can understand investing that money in a guy like Kevin Concepcion because you've seen what that guy can do on the college football field. But again, we've seen so many times where, like Johnny Frazier, for example, dude was a freaking stud in high school, but then once he got to college, it was like, just no transfer. It's just like, what the heck's going on?
That's not
Johnny
really
Frazier also played on a very low talent.
Greg, I was a football manager when he was on the team, man. Okay, I know. I'm telling you, that guy in practice, unfortunately, it couldn't click with him. It just couldn't click.
Fair enough.
So, but yeah, no. So anyway, so that's just kind of my question. Is the staff going to be that willing to invest that much money in a guy that hasn't played one college football playoff game?
Well, I think it becomes, do we have the money to invest in one player? I don't think it's a question of whether the staff is willing to invest. I think they would be like, yes, like push all the chips to the center of the table. But to Michael's point, how much of that is eating our entire budget?
True.
So I think, yes, you probably go after him. There's probably a reason why he's the number one player in the country. Thank you, Lincoln. But yeah. Hey,
yeah,
I'm trying to lead a conversation.
What's the word?
It's so hard right now. I'm like, I can't chew gum and lead a conversation.
You see, now you feel me, Greg, right?
I don't. You're making excuses. I need you to play harder.
Wow. Let us know in the comments how Greg's doing at moderating, guys. Let us know in the comments.
But no, I think to the point we raised almost $128,000 and our goal was $100,000. So well done, Wolfpack Nation. I think that.
See what happens when you win. I mean,
yeah. Well, you got to keep winning, right, in order to make that
number
money.
Goes up so much more. Like, just thinking about if we wouldn't have had that huge run in basketball, what would the numbers be? Like, I think about that. I'm like, because I mean, once that happened, it was like Wolfpack Nation was. Like, we had no doubt. We were all in. We're not going to handle our next loss very well because, I mean, we haven't had to worry about losing, and that's a great feeling to have, but it's going to suck when it comes.
Well, the last thing I'm going to say about the NIL, I know a couple names on that list. If you're winning prizes, I need a little kickback. I'm just saying. And you know who you are out there. All right.
We got a couple things on this real quick.
Go for it real quick.
One, NIL doesn't have to come completely from the university. He could be like sponsored by other places. So he could but he could get that anywhere. So to me, he's probably usually these kids are going to go try to make the most money as you can. And I don't want to stay on too long, but that's just another thing. It doesn't have to come straight from the university. No, and then secondly, even if you did get him, the way the NIL is now, the way the transfer portal is, we should say you keep him around the second year. So, but that's with any of these players, right? So. You may be better off missing out on in the first year. You just never know.
Like Megan said, like, he could be a Noah Rogers, go to Tennessee, and then be like, you know what, I'm going to go back home, come to Raleigh. Like, I'd rather have him for 3 years than his first one.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So that is a strategy. Yeah.
A home.
No, I mean
hometown discount.
I know you are. I know that was a funny way to say it.
Yeah.
All
right. Well,
Greg, you want me to fight them? They're coming at you hard tonight.
It's fine. It's fine. I can mute anyone at any time. So just remember that I do have the power.
Wow.
All right. Hey, we're jumping to a very, very first thing ever in Tuffy Talk history. We actually broke a piece of news.
The Discord was blowing up.
We blew up our own Discord. We normally don't tweet. We normally don't put our own tweets out as tweet of the week, but this was just too good not to. We broke the news I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday, that we have a third baseman commit in Ryan Jaros. He's coming over from Georgia Tech. He's a third baseman, very highly touted player. All assumptions will be that he will take the position of AMAC. He'll be hopefully the next AMAC. Very limited numbers last year at Georgia Tech, but all the numbers were very positive. And so even though that sample size is small, a ton of potential in this player. So we are happy to have Mr. Jaros on board with the Pac-9. And like I said, when I retweeted, we're just restocking the shelves for another run to Omaha. Michael, give me your first thoughts. I know you're a numbers guy, and I know you kind of dug in on some of his numbers. So kind of give me what you saw.
Yeah, I limited sample size, but not nothing. I mean, what 20-ish games or so? That's kind of a quarter of the season, maybe a little. Yeah, about a quarter of the season. But I don't know. He's got a good profile coming out of high school. Limited, like I said, limited sample size at Georgia Tech, but put up decent numbers for 1,000 OPS.
Yep.
I would assume he slots in as your starting third baseman next year.
You would assume. Yep. You would assume.
That's what it looks like they're going after him for. So
he's probably not transferring to be a role player. I would assume he was looking for a starting position. Obviously don't know what he was promised, but to your point, I think he's coming in to compete for a starting job. Ken's making Leighton. Any thoughts on this? I know Leighton, you were kind of at the tip of the spear breaking this for us. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, no, with Ryan, I mean, first of all, I mean, I haven't heard anything besides just a ton of comments, not only just about him as a player, but him as a person too. That he's going to be a great ambassador for NC State, representing NC State with class for sure, which is something that you expect with Avent. I mean, that just seems to be just the status quo. That he's going to bring great men first and then players second. And definitely, we wish you had more sample size, but the thing is, I mean, if you're going to get a guy such as, the transfer from Florida State, who, was a 300 hitter and, was a starter and all that jazz, you're going to have to pay big money. And, but, you go after a guy like Ryan Jaros, who went out of high school. He was the number 6 overall third base prospect. When he was at Georgia Tech, he proved that he, can translate that ability to the college field. So yeah, I think it's, it's kind of the value is there to invest in Ryan Jaros and give him Chris Hart, like, what I mean? Like let Chris Hart work on that guy. Right?
Yeah.
Woo! Watch out.
And Pennington.
Amen.
Yeah. What about you, Macon or Kens? Any thoughts?
Yeah, to me, it's just when I think about, like, I'm big into dynasty football, this is like what you call a buy, right? This is the guy you want to buy because small sample size, lower in value could be the next AMAC, right? And I don't think anybody really expected AMAC to be exactly what he was. So really good talent. I mean, the numbers are there at a small sample size. It kind of leads you to think that he could maybe replicate that at a larger sample size. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, from some of the comments I'm seeing, it seems like everybody was obviously upset losing AMAC because, like, I mean, not only are we losing a fantastic player, you're also losing someone who became a face of the program really fast when he was there. And so seeing all these comments about him, like, he just seems like he's a guy that's going to come in and be that leader that we're going to need. Because, I mean, we're losing Noah Souls, we're losing Kozar, we're losing all of these big like leader guys on the team. And so the fact that we're going to have one come in, that's a big deal.
Yeah. For me, real quick, and I'll just tie this up. Jaros played with Alex Sosa and perfect game on the national team. And so these guys are working their connections and channels really hard to get some of these new players in on the recruiting trail. We're going to see probably some more movement probably in the next 48 to 72 hours, maybe sooner. There's some folks that are close to committing. Again, these players are out there doing their due diligence, letting the coaching staff know, just to kind of give them some people to look at. So you're going to start seeing this roster start to fill out really quick for next season. But staying on the baseball front, just want to touch real quick on a couple of our players, 3 pitchers. Derek Smith, Cooper Consiglio, and Jacob Duden are all part of the summer collegiate tours, where D-Rock actually is part of the International Friendly Series, and whereas Cooper and Jacob are part of the traveling series where they'll travel around a lot of the East Coast and play some games over the summer. That's kind of their version of summer ball. And then just kind of want to give a quick shout out. D-Rock came in on Saturday night and closed the door down for Team USA. Got a 4-out save.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's so good. Again, just, 2 freshmen and a sophomore. So these are guys that will be coming back next year and for a couple more years. Anyone want to kind of just throw out their thoughts on these 3 pitchers?
I mean,
you go ahead,
not everyone
guys.
has
I
what
think he
wants.
should. I think he should. They're just excellent players for state, and makes you wonder if players would have. To me, I don't know if this is the way hindsight's 2020. If Derek Smith would have come in the College World Series in some spots, that last game there or so, would that have helped out? But if state that philosophy was rolling into thing, we have done this schedule the whole way. We're going to stick with it. So Derek Smith is just awesome at his role.
Yeah. And I'll piggyback off what Hunter said here. I love our guys being a part of this. There is definitely a history of this from the last couple of years with Sam and Chris Villama, and there's some other folks that have participated in this team. And I think that goes also to a testament of how Avon is viewed in the baseball community, getting his guys invited to these types of camps. Michael, anything you want to add?
Yeah, it's a lot of college guys, they'll play summer ball, but I think this is great because it's I would think it's a higher level of competition because you're going against the best college players in the country.
Did they beat Japan's team or whose team was it?
It was Chinese Taipei.
China. Okay.
Yeah.
USA.
The other thing which I
just think
would
it's
add,
cool, real quick, just to be able to put that USA jersey on, right? I mean, like, you are truly representing your country at the highest level. I think that's just the coolest honor one athlete can have. Anyway, go ahead, Leighton. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, 100%. Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Kyle. First of all, I'm excited about Western Carolina because that's that's another thing that grinds my gears. Everybody's counting down to the Tennessee game. I'm like, can we count down to Western Carolina? Anyway,
we didn't do it grind my gears. I failed us that we didn't have that, but that's okay. Next time, if I get this opportunity, we'll make sure we'll have that. We'll have to take it to the vote if I get this opportunity again. But to finish my point though about pitchers is, I love if there's a part of the team of a baseball team that you want to be the focal point, you want it to be your pitchers. And so for us to not only just have one, not two, but three of them get highlighted on Team USA, which is a combination of the best college baseball players right now. I mean, that says a lot about the excitement for next year, assuming that we can hold on to all three of these guys, which I'm assuming that if nothing's been heard or even talked about yet, that we feeling pretty good about it. So yeah. Knocking on wood. We should be good. All right. Anyone else have anything on these three awesome pitchers for state representing the red, white, and blue?
Nope.
Okay. Just want to throw one more baseball tweet out there. We'll go this one really quickly. Just a great year for both AMAC, Garrett Pennington, and Jacob Cozart. I won't go into all the numbers here, but top 10 in so many offensive statistical categories. Just that you only had Pennington and AMAC for one season, but they have definitely left their mark, like Ken said just a few minutes ago. They will always be remembered as some legends, even though it was 1 year. And then Jacob Cozart, I think, will put the exclamation point on here in a couple of weeks when they go to the draft. Right now, he's rated a perfect game as the third best.
I want him at the Braves so bad. I want him at the Braves.
Settle down, Ken. Settle down.
You have no idea.
But again, the numbers speak for themselves. The doubles, the home runs, the on-base percentage. It was a season, especially when you're looking at AMAX. I mean, he had the RBIs and the home runs. Just an insane year for him, and hopefully he's done some damage in a positive way with his draft stock. Anyone want to speak on these three real quick? Macon, I'll let you go first if you want to throw something out there.
No, it's just generally speaking that those guys are what state got out of those guys this season was if it wasn't for them, I don't know where state would be. But you consider any of those guys, but they were the best players on this team that went to a College World Series team. And if they're the best players on a College World Series team, that's saying something. So congrats to them, and just really excited and thankful that they were part of NC State in that run. So
it's hard
to watch
that they were only at state for a year.
Feels longer.
They saved state in so many games. Like, they gave us the momentum we needed to come back in the game. Alec almost got us a comeback in the College World Series. So it's like they gave us that boost when we needed it. And when I think about it, I'm like, it doesn't feel like it's just been a year with them. So seeing them leave or for senior night, you still get a little emotional because you're like, yeah, they were here for a year, but they left a ginormous impact and led us to Omaha, in my opinion.
And one of the things that we didn't talk about was Alex Makarevich was actually on the All College World Series team. I don't think we ever mentioned that, but he was one of the members on that. So just, I mean, it was accolade after accolade for all three of those players, and of course the few that we mentioned last week. But just a damn good season by those three. Anyone else want? I know we're getting short on time. Anyone else want to chime in here? Or are we ready to move on to the next slide?
I mean, I'm particularly excited to talk about the next slide. So
yeah, I know you, Michelle. Real quick, if you can expand on your questions, I would like to answer it. She says, "When is the deadline to announce intentions for next season for baseball players? What are you referring to? Major League Baseball draft? Are you talking portal? You can just
he's talking portal.
Yeah, portal. I think it's 45 days for pretty much all the sports. So I think there's probably another month or so of open portal. Maybe a little less than that. I don't know exactly when it opened, but all right. Last but certainly not least, we wanted to save this. Yeah, we just want, this is like the freshest one out there, and we're just so proud of Diana Shnaider coming off of her very first career WTA singles championship, which was at
WTA 500 level.
I'm sorry.
It's technically her second ever WTA single, but in terms of WTA 500, it's her first ever one ever.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the clarification. Which was the Bod Humbug. No, I'm just kidding. Like Bah Humbug, but which was in Germany. She literally just came off of that less than 48 hours ago, and so she moved right into the Wimbledon. Won her first match today, and against previous world ranked #1 player, and you closed it on me, so I didn't get her name. If you got it, if you want to pull, say it. It was
Pliskova.
Carolina
Pliskova.
Yeah, sure. She's Czech. I can't pronounce those names, but she was world #1. And then she was a finalist in Wimbledon in 2021. So she was in the finals match. So an impressive, couple of weeks for Diana. Leighton, you wanted to jump in and talk about it. So I will yield my time to you, my friend.
Well, I'm telling y'all right now, like simply this, in my opinion, has not gotten talked about enough. Like think about this. Like right now, Diana is ranked the number 30th best women's tennis player in all of tennis right now. In all of women's tennis, she is ranked the 30th best, which, I mean, you may say, who cares? Well, she's only 20 years old. Like she literally was born in 2004. She's 20 years old. And I mean, like to me, this is like, imagine if NC State had, paired along with it, the 30th best player in the NFL or the 30th best player in the NBA. Like that'd be huge. That'd be ginormous. Like we're talking about like all-star game caliber level players, and the fact that, again, she's only 20 years old, so it's only going to get better, and she's winning singles titles. And right now, I mean, she's been listed as a dark horse to win Wimbledon, which is, I mean, as I'm sure a lot of people know who don't even follow tennis, is one of the probably 2 or 3 biggest titles to win during any year. So it's just super, super exciting for the NC State women's tennis program to have a name like that paired along to it. I mean, if you're Simon Earnshaw, you're just walking around, you're just stapling that to your forehead, and just being like look what we can do. Like, look at this. That's crazy. So anyway.
Yeah, to think about it, like year and a half ago ish, when she came to state, she was ranked like number 91 or 94. And so to see that in a year and a half, she's cut that by 2/3 is just an incredible run.
Oh, 100%.
Yep. Hey guys, gotta head out. I'll see y'all later.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Macon.
Anyway.
And again, I mean, just like North Wolf was saying, like top 15, top 10 is well within her scope for sure. I mean, again, she already beat the number 19 overall women's tennis player just a couple days ago. So just and all this too, keep in mind that she won this title even dealing with a shoulder injury. Like she wasn't even 100% in the championship match, and she pulled off a great upset. So super, super excited about Diana.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have for tweets of the week. Now, there was something that I wanted to bring up that Leighton, you talked about, and I just want to spend maybe 2 minutes on it. We've been talking about you being a football manager all night, so I figured I'd give you the last word. You talked earlier, I think it was like late last week, about the headsets and you flipping cards, and So we've eliminated your position. So how does that feel?
I
Like you've
know.
literally gotten taken over by like AI. Like we don't
I
even
know.
need you
Greg is
anymore.
attacking Leighton. It feels like the debate the other night.
No, but give me your thoughts on the, I think it's a great thing for the game. I think that way you don't have people complaining about stolen signs and all of that. And it gives I think you're going to potentially have better football because now you'll have guys lined up in proper positions and, good
Yeah.
defensive alignments. But give me your thoughts real quick on that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things where, you didn't wish it had to come to this, but yeah, I mean, now with the Michigan debacle last year, it just got to a point where it's too risky, I mean, like, and especially too, since the NFL's had this technology for such a long time, it's just finally that we're just kind of finally we're finally arriving to the party, with that technology. But I mean, let's be real. I mean, like, how many fans love, seeing, the Alvin the Chipmunks, on the sidelines and all the different, hand signals and things like that.
Yeah.
And, so it definitely will be missed, which, it's fun. I'm actually surprised, Greg, that when I put out the picture of me with my formation cards or whatever,
It was an SMU thing, wasn't it, on the logo? I think
one
it
of
was
them
a
was
Mustang.
SMU. That's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
What did that mean?
Bronco, I believe. I believe that was a because and I don't even know if I can say this. I'm assuming I can. It was forever ago.
It's fine.
But yeah,
This is a different coach.
but yeah, it's completely different. But yeah, like Bronco, so like basically a running formation style. So
Gotcha.
Yep.
I think there'll still be some of that because it shuts off at 15 seconds. So if you're gonna call a different play, like you don't like the look, then they might call in a different play. It's still enough time.
Because I honestly think the biggest thing out of this is, something that we haven't even said, which is the fact that now the coaches can basically coach the quarterback through the play. So not only are you, I mean, basically, not only can you say the play, but you can say, hey, keep in mind, if this is man coverage, throw this. If it's zone, then audible to this. Like there's enough time now for the coordinator to be able to say that stuff in the quarterback's ears.
Yeah, and unless you're going to huddle every play, the quarterback's still the only one who gets it. So everybody else still has to get the signals from somewhere.
Right.
True.
Right.
Good point.
So I think we'll see. It'll probably be less, but yeah, I think it'll still be some.
Yeah, I'm hoping it just gives you a better quality product on the field.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's, and like you said, Leighton, we've had the technology. Why aren't we embracing some of this stuff? It just makes no sense. So I'm glad they finally got on board with it. But I'm sorry that they took away your job. All right, I think that's a pretty good wrap for this episode of Tuffy Talk Live. Again, thank you, Leighton, for giving me the honor and privilege to lead our discussion.
We'll see if you get
might be a one and done. I might be a one and done. I might be going in the transfer portal. I'm not even sure if that's going to happen, but
I might be going to the transfer portal.
Yeah.
All right, Wolfpack Nation. We are officially off the rails, so it is time to end this episode. But again, thank you for everyone that's tuned in. All the OGs, the Michelles, the North Wolves, the Hunters. My kid was even in here tonight. So, but all right, we got some great episodes coming out this week. Even though it's summer, we're still going to be churning out some content for you. So make sure you're on the lookout and subscribing to all of our different platforms. And we always appreciate you, Wolfpack Nation. Until next time, we'll see you later. Go Pack.